I know I'm funny, but I feel like I know that I'm funny. Okay. Hey guys, it's me, Kristina Borsello with Beauty Bar by Kristina Ruggerio here in Wilmington, Delaware. We are back doing a bridal makeup tutorial on our model, Sarah. Let's just take a moment to admire this amazing Hollywood wave hair that our stylist Kat did. How pretty is this? I mean, just take a look at that. And then also take a moment to admire her beauty because I can't wait to do her makeup. We're just gonna talk a little bit about bridal makeup today. We're live on Instagram, so you guys might hear me answer a couple questions today. And we're just gonna dive right in. It's so important to get on a skincare routine months before your wedding day and obviously take care of your skin that morning. So we are going to use the Nutrient Toner just to bring her skin back down to its normal levels and strip away any bad oils that would break the makeup apart that day. Obviously her skin is perfect, but if you do not feel like you have perfect skin, you can always fix it. That's why we stress getting on a skincare routine 6 months at least before your wedding day. We're gonna use a little bit of the pore minimizing moisturizer just to fill in any large pores or anywhere where the makeup might settle a little bit. All right, so we are going to get started on Sarah's eyes. And she has a really good eye shape for a makeup artist just to kind of display the eye look. So I do get a lot of questions. Like I'll have girls bring in a picture of a makeup look and not everything displays the same way on different eye shapes. Some people have hooded eyes, some people have larger eyes. So when she opens, you can see her whole lid and you can see her crease in here. So someone like me, you can't see my lid as much because I have more hooded eyes. So always think about the look that you're choosing according to your actual eye shape before you pick your makeup look. So we're priming her eyes. I'm actually using a MAC paint pot for that with the Kristina Ruggerio 120 eye primer brush. We're gonna go in with the 205 crease brush from Kristina Ruggerio, and I'm actually using the Huda, the nude palette. I love this palette for brides. I'm gonna start with the color Secret and a little bit of Tickle. I'm gonna combine the two and just start fluffing this onto the crease. And it's so hard picking the look you want for wedding day because there's a million looks that you can go for. I had a really hard time on my wedding day. I don't think going too dramatic on wedding day is the best, but I also don't think that going too natural is great either. It's all preference. We are actually going to buff a little bit of the color Play on top of what we just did. Play is this really pretty peach. And I'm just gonna put a touch of this directly over what I just did. And then we're gonna smoke this up a little bit with more of a chocolate and like a deeper brown. I'm actually using the Kristina Ruggerio Nude Eyeshadow Palette. I love this palette, I've used it in previous videos. I'm taking my favorite 229 detailing brush. We're gonna smoke this out onto the outer half of the eye, and then we're gonna blend it out. So yesterday we had our first bridal showcase here at Beauty Bar. We wanted to really show off our makeup artists and our hairstylists, all their work. And so Sarah was a model yesterday. So definitely check out our Instagram and look at our work from all of our talented stylists. And it was a success. We had a really fun time, didn't we? We had some drinks, we had some food. Oh, by the way, did you see that little boy yesterday that was here?
So cute.
He told me he was remembering, this is funny guys. He told me he was remembering people's names yesterday. He remembered them by seasons and by countries or...
I was USA.
Are you guys ready for this? So she was USA. Somebody else was Winter. The really pale Courtney, she's Winter. Somebody else was Summer. Somebody was Fall. And he said to me, he goes, you know who you remind me of? And I said, who? He said, North Korea. North Korea. I said, so I remind you of Kim Jong-un?
Oh my God. I'm so offended.
So we just started to smoke out the outer corners of her eyes a little bit, just to kind of add a little bit more dimension into that pink that we originally did. We are going to add a little touch of this like caramel color with the same brush that I buffed the chocolate brown out with, and just keep layering. This palette from Kristina Ruggerio is so versatile. You can do so many things with it. You have like your vanilla color, you have your caramel, you have like a bronzy, And then you have your warm and cool brown. So I always have this in my makeup kit. So I'm actually gonna take a highlighter from the Cheek Leaders, I was making sure I was saying that right, palette from Benefit. This palette is amazing because you get your bronzers, your blush, you get like a rose gold kind of a blush, and then you get this awesome highlighter called Cookie. And I'm actually gonna use my finger to apply. So we are going to press this right in the inner corners of the eye. So this is just gonna give you that really glowy bridal look that most of our clients ask for. I would say my favorite look to do on myself would be kind of like a daytime glam. It's definitely my favorite look to do on myself, and I would say it looks good on most people, so that would be my favorite look to do on everybody. You just feel comfortable, but you also feel really made up at the same time. All right, so we're gonna put a little touch of the color Ladybird from ColourPop. I really like the ColourPop, the Super Shock shadows. They have like a squishy kind of like texture, and I like to apply these with my fingers. I love NARS foundation. I love Anastasia products. I love the Huda products. I'm like obsessed with the Huda products, but that's definitely a newer brand that I've gotten into. Her foundations lay like no other foundation I've ever tried before, whether you're blending it out with a beauty blender or a brush, and it just kind of melts into your skin nicely. I love the Huda products. All right, so another important thing for brides is to make sure that your eyes are defined. So I feel like a lot of people do not think of this. You want to get into that lash line and make sure you cover up that top waterline. You want to make sure that's blacked out. This is actually a trick that I learned a long time ago, actually a technique, I guess I should say, from Laura Mercier. And so this just made her eyes, especially because they're light, just made them pop a lot more. Now we're gonna do some liquid liner. Look down for me. This is the Kat Von D tattoo liner. So I'm gonna buff this out with the same 229 detailing brush that we used earlier to deepen up her corners. We are going to now just soften up that liner just a little bit so nothing is too harsh, but I'm keeping it really tight just on that lash line. I would say, that's like a toss-up, honestly, for me between concealer and lipstick. Even when I'm wearing no foundation, I still have to have something on my lips. But I would probably say concealer. You have got to prime the skin the right way, so a good primer, which we're about to jump into actually. You have to set things the right way, always. And then setting sprays always come in hand too, but it's not just the setting sprays. It is oftentimes how you're priming and how you're setting the product. So like your liquid products like concealer and foundation, how are you setting those? Are you setting those? And that is how you're gonna get your makeup to last. And the photographers will appreciate that, right, Mike?
Absolutely.
So we're using the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. This is really gonna help to fill in the pores. It's a beautiful primer. It's a little pricey. It just makes for a really silky canvas when you put your makeup on. And I've been watching Scott Barnes lately. Do you guys ever watch him? Mm-hmm. I'm obsessed with his techniques. He, obviously is amazing because he's J-Lo's makeup artist and she's like a god herself, a human god. Yeah. And she doesn't age and she doesn't look like she ages ever. So whoever does her makeup, I'm like, I just want to know what you're doing. So I've been following him and I'm going to try his techniques today to see what we think. Her face is a little lighter than her body, and this happens all the time with people. And one of the biggest complaints I've heard from people is like, don't make me too light. I had a makeup artist make me way too light and it didn't match my body. So as a makeup artist, I always look at their body when I'm going to match their face. So I would never put a foundation on her to match her cheek color. I would put a foundation on her to match her chest and her arms. We're gonna get started using Cloud Concealer from Too Faced, Born This Way concealer. It's a good one, I use it all the time and I actually love the applicator. I got into makeup when my mom would tell you I got into makeup when I was like 3. But I got into makeup probably when I was in grade school. All my girlfriends and I were going to dances, and then especially in high school we would go like to the beach or whatever, and the girls would be lined up on the bed like, do me next, and I couldn't even get myself ready. And then I did a wedding in high school, and I was like, whoa, if this like 30-year-old woman can trust me who's 16 to do her wedding, then I must be kind of like good at this. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. So we're working on Scott Barnes' technique. He likes to highlight and contour before he does the foundation, but he doesn't like to like just smear the foundation all over on top of it. So we're gonna be very delicate when we go to apply the foundation later. And he calls this brush a cat's paw. He's like, I guess J-Lo calls it a cat's paw because she's like, it's like a little cat's paw. And I was like, that's funny. So eyelash extensions before a wedding, I used to, and I still am not like, I'm still not the biggest fan. I love eyelash extensions, but I'm not the biggest fan of eyelash extensions and makeup together because eyelash extensions really are meant for people who don't want to wear that much makeup. They're for people who just want to like wake up, put a little bit of a clear lip gloss on and run out the door. Because when you start like messing around with makeup and eyelash extensions, the powder from the eyeshadow falls into the eyelash extensions and it just kind of looks messy. I kind of feel two ways about it. I think it's awesome for the bride for honeymoon because it's easy and they can just go straight to their honeymoon and not have to worry about things. But as a makeup artist, I like to do the lashes after I do the makeup. So I kind of feel 50-50. So I just contoured her with the Sand Born This Way concealer from Too Faced. We're still contouring and highlighting and doing all of our work underneath. I love ours from Kristina Ruggerio. It's really like a nice, kind of like a, you can sheer it out, but it can be really full coverage at the same time, and it kind of melts into your skin. I feel like I always have Tarte in my bag at home. I always have the Too Faced Born This Way concealer at home, and I always have loved the NARS creamy concealers. We are going in with the Anastasia 332 foundation, and I'm putting it onto the 161 blending brush from Kristina Ruggerio. And we're going to really stipple this in because we do not want to mess up the work that we had just done. All right, so we're going in with the Huda Beauty setting powder in the color Cupcake. And how cute are all of Huda's products names? Like Cupcake. Then she has like Pound Cake. So we're setting this with the big shader brush from Kristina Ruggerio. And I'm just putting this right under her eyes and then a little bit down the side of her nose. And we're gonna take a little touch of the Airbrush Flawless Finish from Charlotte Tilbury. We're just gonna do a touch of this on the T-zone of her face. Just like the hot spots that could possibly get oily later. 6 months prior to wedding. So we try to put people on like a hydrofacial routine once a month for 6 months. And then they can always come in between their hydrofacials and come in for like a quick little enzyme, just so you can keep up with the exfoliation process on your skin, because all the pictures that brides show us of celebrities are taking really good care of their skin. So if you're not prepping your skin and exfoliating everything off the way that you should be, then you probably are not gonna have the glow like you want. All right, we're not finished with our face, but we are gonna start putting some lashes on her. We're gonna do individuals just because they're a little bit more natural. We can stack them up and make them look really fluffy, and they're gonna be pretty on her. We're smoking out the outer half of her eye, and we are using the detailed brush that we always use, kind of like a cool chocolate brown. And then we have to dust away some of the shadow that fell. So we finished with her eyes for the most part. We're gonna finish up her face, then we're gonna start with the lips, and then this look will come to a wrap. But right now I'm actually gonna contour her cheekbones a little bit more with the Huda Pound Cake powder. I'm gonna bronze her a little bit with the Benefit palette. And the Cookie highlighter is so pretty. I'm gonna use a little mixture of this with the highlighter from the Kristina Ruggerio cheek palette. This is my all-time favorite blush palette. It's from Kristina Ruggerio. I'm gonna use the dual-ended brush from Kristina Ruggerio, and we're just gonna put a pinch of this on the apples and upward. We're gonna use Bare lip liner from Kristina Ruggerio. It's just a good classic like chestnut brown to define. All right, we are using a Kristina Ruggerio lip color called Hanky Panky. And then we're putting a little bit of Pink Nugget in the center. And then of course a little gloss in the center as well. This is called Ultra Glitter. And it's just gonna give her that nice shine. So she has pretty perfect brows already, and we already did brush them up with a clean wand. We're gonna go in with a little bit of this brow pomade from Kristina Ruggerio just to deepen them up a little bit and just fill in little gaps that she may have. But she has damn near perfect eyebrows, people. This is like eyebrow goals right here.
You're so nice.
I mean, this is insane. You guys, can we handle this? Can we handle this look, this face, the hair, everything? She looks amazing. I just forgot to mention I did use the 213 brow brush to do her brows. And our last touch is some brow gel just to get these babies fluffy a little bit more than they already are. And she's done. Gorgeous. Just gonna spin her. Take her on a little ride. So thank you for being my model. You know what? We did actually forget something. Sorry, I lied. We cannot, especially with her, we cannot forget to do the finishing details like the shoulders. Gorgeous. That's a wrap. We're done. Now we're gonna go eat some biscuits and fried chicken.
Yes.
Someone just dropped that off to us here at the salon. Out of the kindness of their hearts, they just dropped it off. This was just dropped off to us.
Smells unreal.
Biscuits and fried chicken. If you made it to the end of this video, please comment a pink heart. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you all again. We'll see you soon.
Sorry.